Oh, I hate body work. I'm not good at body work. Don't make fun of me too much. I have no idea what I'm doing. What does Derek say? If you're reading this, scrap the effing car. P.S. Get effed. And there is a male phallus with some veins. 03 25 22. The next day, ran out of time yesterday, was doing stuff, so we're going to quickly scuff this guy up now that we have some scuffing pads and a tack cloth. And I'm going to try to throw a little bit of seam sealer down so that it can dry and we can continue on with this project. Hear that? I think I got rid of all the crickets in the garage. Sweet, sweet silence. It's amazing. Anyway, I want to try to take down some of this seam sealer now that it seems like it's at least partially cured. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna do that, but we're gonna try. I think I have a few options readily available to me in my toolbox. I have the cheese grater, which is great for, I don't know what it's designed for, I think foam, but it works great for Bondo. I've used this before. I don't know if that's working. I also have a sanding block. I guess I'll give this a shot. Oh, I hate body work. I'm not good at body work. Don't make fun of me too much. I have no idea what I'm doing. Per the instructions on the tube, to promote curing, underneath my mask I'm smiling. Alright, I think we're gonna call it there. Call it good enough for now. And I'm gonna order some Bondo, or do some research into Bondo for body filter. This area right here is not really cured to my liking yet. Once it is, I'll throw another coat of primer on all of the bare surfaces, and then we'll go to work with the Bondo. So I'm gonna go inside so I can take this mask off and take my pants off, because that sounded weird. I'm going to go inside to the air conditioning where it's nice and cool and get some hydration and cool off. And then we'll be back at this when we're back at this. Yeah. It is Friday. I have a little bit of time. It's lunchtime right now, and I'm working from home today. So I got about 20 minutes before I gotta go back upstairs and start bleep blooping again, but I want to throw a little bit of primer down because I'm going away for the weekend. I don't want to leave this bare metal just exposed because we're doing so good. Alrighty, I will let that dry and I'll come back a little later in the day. I'll throw another coat on and then that'll be good for now. Okay, as you can see, we have made negative progress here. I've also switched back to my microphone, so we'll see how the audio is. There is another cricket in the garage in some area that I can't get to, and I'm hoping that the personal microphone here will help alleviate that situation. So the reason that I have taken this back down to bare metal is I used the wrong primer. I have been using this primer sealer, which, as the name suggests, is for sealing primer. Oofda. So I got other primer that we're going to put on and then use primer sealer over it, and then we're going to use our Bondo. And I kind of got frustrated and just started sanding away anyway. So we're going to continue sanding, and then we're going to clean all of this up, and then throw our first coat of primer down for the night. Put my mask on, and we're going to get to it. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll come back with that sealer and just whoop. What does Derek say? Something like that. And we'll seal that, and then what I have is the finest body filler AutoZone could provide me. So we're going to do that. Okay. It absolutely stinks down here. I am going to have to wear a respirator if I continue to do this stuff. Lordy. I listened back to the previous portion of the video. This microphone really cuts out a lot of sound. You guys didn't hear the cricket whatsoever. I might continue wearing this. Just kind of really amplifies my voice quite a bit, which I guess is the point of a microphone. Kind of even cut out a lot of the sanding sound, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, it has been what I would deem an adequate amount of time. I am now going to add the primer sealer. I don't remember where I put it. Oh, right here. And probably put my respirator on. Where is that located? Alrighty, it has been a week since I recorded, and you may be asking yourself, Matt, how did we get to the point where we're currently at from where we were? I don't know if I'm going to include the footage of that because Mr. Smartman Matt here never turned on his microphone, so there was no audio for the entirety of the video. It was the first time I've made a mistake like that, and it's pretty much about 30 to 45 minutes of raw video that's completely worthless, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to quickly go over what I did, what we're going to do, and the things that we're going to change between then and now. So what I did was I primered everything that was bare metal before, and I used a combination of two primers that I had gotten at AutoZone. I'm trying to see if I could see it. There was like a self-etching primer and a primer sealer. I let those dry. I gave them a scuff, immediately took off the whole layer of primer sealer. So that was probably, should have been my first indication that things were just not going according to plan. From there, I laid down a coat of Bondo, which is this, or not Bondo, but whatever flavor of body filler that I was using. And it actually is laid down way better than any Bondo I have used thus far. I'm just going to keep referring to it as Bondo. It's not Bondo. Body filler. Bondo. The entirety of that body filler chipped off right here. It did not stick whatsoever. And that was my second indication that we had a problem. But I continued on and I sanded this whole area down pretty much flat. And there's a couple high spots. You can see the metal still poking through. What I did do is purchase on Summit some 2-part epoxy primer, actual epoxy primer. So I think what I'm going to try doing now is try to chip away some of this filler to see how stuck it actually is to the car. And then we'll coat everything else that's bare metal with the actual epoxy primer, which is kind of only one use, because in the C it comes with this little red cap thingy on top here. You use that to puncture in this bottom part here, which is the catalyst portion. And then you shake it and mix it together and it activates it. So I want to make sure that whatever I do, I am effective in doing it. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my handy dandy. This is close enough. Actually, I'll go one step a little smaller here. Screwdriver. I'm just going to see if I can kind of get under a little area. See, it's kind of chipping off with the primer. I don't like that at all. I might have to redo all of that. Kind of unfortunate. That's the way it's going to be then. I'm going to grab my mask. Now that I got Darth Vader mode activated, I guess I'm going to just try to remove a little. Okay, how does this work? There are no instructions. The instructions are as follows, in a little diagram on the bottom here. Shake it for 2 minutes, and put the little red cap thingy on the bottom. Press it all together, and then shake it for another 2 minutes. There we go. Well, you guys should be able to hear this. It definitely had like a distinctive pop to it when I pressed it all the way in. Like all the way in. So now I shake it for another 2 minutes. To activate it, I'm going to put this back on preemptively. We're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back in and we will, it's already drying pretty good actually. Once that dries, we'll do a scuff, and then we'll clean it up with the tack cloth, and then, I don't want to take this off. Then we'll clean it up with the tack cloth, and then we'll come in with the body filler and make this actually look good. It stinks in here, so I'm gonna go away now, but good stuff. Okay, lopping her on. Like stripped that primer off too. I don't get it. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna let this thoroughly dry. And we'll see where we go from there, I guess. Jeez Louise. Okay. Matt, stick to mechanical things and doing CAD. Note to self: body work, particularly body filler, not my strong suit. We'll see how it goes. This seems to have worked better than the first time I did it, so we're just gonna go with it. Okie dokie. It has hardened. Cool, cool. I'm gonna see what I can do about taking this down. We're just gonna try to get it, I guess, as even as we can. Feel it out a little bit, you know?
So we are going to pause here, wait for this to kick off and cure. Starting to change color a little bit. We'll come back, do a little bit more sanding, no more power tools. So we'll try to do this by hand. Might need to just use less and less Bondo body filler, whatever, each time, so as not to cause us to have to do more sanding than we need to. Well, with that, I am out of primer and out of time, actually. It is entirely too late at night, like way too late. So, in my haste, I gave myself a couple of runs in the primer, so I'll have to wait until that fully cures and try to sand that down, and I'm going to have to fill a couple little pinholes, but I'll have to get some like good glazing putty for that and do that all over, honestly. But with that, I do think that I kind of got the shape that I need out of this body line here. If I carefully close the door, it does seem to line up pretty well, and then it kind of smooths out toward the back, which is what we need. So I do think this quarter panel is done. Gotta clean it up and stuff, but that's pretty exciting.
It is very, very exciting. Oh, and there was one right there. But anyway, good stuff. Okay, look what we have here. Some new to me, at least, bug-eye sedan front fenders. Don't worry about the gel coat peeling off. These things are going to get sanded down and painted the same color as the rest of the car. What is exciting about these is, one, I got them at a pretty good price, and two, for New England parts, they're pretty dang rust-free. There's a little bit of rust down in the rocker panel and side skirt area on both of them, just on the inside. So we're going to clean the back of those up and maybe even mount one on the passenger side of the car and see how it all kind of ties together with our new wide body rear quarter panel. Again, not that bad. Fixable, I'd say. I'm going to move this one off to the side for now. And you can see the rusty area here. It's mainly just superficial, so we'll clean all of that up. The wire wheel. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I don't know if the dude that I bought this from knows this, but on the inside of this fender here, it says, if you're reading this, scrap the effing car. P.S. Get effed. And there is a male phallus with some veins. 03-25-22. Well, sorry to disappoint you if you are watching this and this is your fender. We're not scrapping it, and I'm almost entirely sure my car is better than your car ever was, even from the factory. So you get effed. We're gonna clean you up. Rust remediation. I think it's time to go grab some rust remediation chemicals. So that's where we're going to head this particular clip off, and we'll get the next thing going. Well, all righty then. And the cricket is going nuts. It's unbelievable how much that cricket, just like, the crickets are incessant. Anyway, we ran out to the Home Depot, and we got a can of currently my favorite rust converter. This right here is Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. I like the stuff. So we're going to do up all of the areas that were rusty on both of the fenders. I'll start with this guy first. Flip it around so you can see the areas that we're going for. This is, I believe, the worst of the two, with the rust concentrated in this general vicinity here. Dry. We'll set these aside. We may even mount them on the car, especially the this particular one on the passenger side, so we can see how the lines across the entire body are going to look. Is what I wanted to do for this car, is plasti dip the whole car. I am a fan of plasti dip, particularly when it's done correctly. You can mess that up just like you can mess up paint, and just like you can mess up vinyl wrap. When it comes out nice, it looks nice. So I'm going to look into that and kind of decide whether or not we want to do a full paint job. And if we do paint, probably to try to keep the cost down with the paint job, we will prep the entire car ourselves, as well as probably go with plain old Subaru Aspen White for everything on the car, instead of something kind of crazy. If I'm going to dip the car, I think I would like to do some type of white with like a little bit of pearl flake in it, or something along those lines, so that it has a little bit of flavor in it instead of just plain white. Anyway, I'm gonna go up and finish making dinner. We have our quarter panels prepped, which is big. I'm gonna set this guy off to the side and let it dry.